In a world filled with chaos and uncertainty, where do you find your refuge? Picture this: the foundations of your life are shaking. Ever felt like that? Well, you're not alone. Today, we're diving into a powerful message hidden within the ancient words of Psalm 11. Ever wondered how a simple song can bring unshakable peace? Stay tuned, because what you're about to discover could change your perspective forever. Let's unlock this together. Ready? Let's go. The authorship of Psalm 11 is traditionally attributed to King David, one of the most significant figures in the Bible. David, a shepherd boy who rose to become the second king of Israel, is credited with composing many of the Psalms, which are poetic hymns and prayers. The historical context of Psalm 11 is believed to be during a period of great personal trial for David, likely when he was being pursued by King Saul or during another time of intense adversity. This context is essential in understanding the emotional and spiritual depth of the psalm, as it reflects David's unwavering faith amidst life-threatening circumstances. David's life was marked by moments of extreme danger and profound faith. From his early days as a shepherd fending off lions and bears, to his epic battle with Goliath, and later, his tumultuous reign as king, David experienced both divine favor and severe trials. Psalm 11 captures a snapshot of this dichotomy, presenting a man who, despite the severe external pressures, finds solace and refuge in his faith. Understanding the backdrop of David's life allows readers to appreciate the psalm not merely as a historical document but as a personal testament of faith and resilience. Moreover, the attribution of Psalm 11 to David adds a layer of authenticity and emotional weight to its words. Knowing that the psalm was penned by a man who experienced the highs and lows of life firsthand, who faced enemies both within and outside his kingdom, and who constantly sought God's guidance, helps modern readers connect with the text on a deeper level. It transforms the psalm from an ancient song into a timeless piece of spiritual encouragement, reminding believers of the power of faith in the face of adversity. Psalm 11 is a short yet profoundly structured piece of poetic literature. It is composed of 7 verses, each contributing to the overall theme of trust in God amidst trials. The structure is deliberate, guiding the reader through a progression of thought that begins with a statement of faith, moves through a confrontation with doubt and fear, and concludes with a reaffirmation of God's justice and protection. This literary design enhances the psalm's impact, making it a powerful tool for meditation and prayer. Before we dive into today's content, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you enjoy our videos and want to see more exciting content, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. It's the best way to support us and stay updated on all the new meditations and videos we share. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for being part of our community, and now, enjoy the video. The first verse sets the tone, with the psalmist declaring his trust in the Lord. In the Lord I take refuge. How then can you say to me, flee like a bird to your mountain? This opening statement is both a declaration of faith and a rhetorical question that challenges the advice of those who suggest fleeing from danger. The subsequent verses delve into the reasons behind this steadfast trust, contrasting the fleeting and deceptive security offered by human counsel with the enduring and reliable refuge found in God. The structure of Psalm 11 also employs vivid imagery and parallelism, common features in Hebrew poetry. For example, the description of the wicked bending their bows and setting their arrows against the righteous, verse 2, creates a stark visual of the imminent threat. This is juxtaposed against the image of the Lord observing from his holy temple, verse 4, emphasizing God's sovereignty in watchful presence. The careful arrangement of these elements not only enhances the psalm's artistic beauty but also reinforces its theological message, making it a rich text for both literary and spiritual analysis. These two topics provide a foundational understanding of Psalm 11, setting the stage for deeper exploration of its themes and messages. By appreciating the historical context and literary structure, readers can better grasp the profound faith and trust in God that David expresses, and find inspiration for their own spiritual journeys. One of the central themes of Psalm 11 is the unwavering faith in God during times of danger and persecution. David's declaration, "In the Lord I take refuge," Psalm 11 verse 1, sets the tone for this theme. It is a profound statement of faith that resonates deeply, especially when we consider the backdrop of intense adversity that David was facing. This theme is universal and timeless, as it speaks to anyone who has ever faced challenges and found strength in their faith. David's ability to maintain his faith despite the circumstances is inspiring. His trust in God was not passive but active, a conscious choice to rely on divine protection rather than succumbing to fear. This kind of faith does not ignore the reality of danger, rather, it acknowledges it and chooses to trust in a higher power. This perspective is crucial for understanding the message of Psalm 11. It is about finding peace and security in God, even when the world seems to be falling apart. In a broader sense, this theme of faith in adversity can be applied to various aspects of life. Whether facing personal trials, societal challenges, or global crises, the message of Psalm 11 is a reminder that faith can be a source of strength and refuge. It encourages believers to look beyond the immediate threats and trust in the enduring presence and justice of God. The idea of finding refuge in the Lord is a recurring motif in the Psalms and is prominently featured in Psalm 11. When David says, "In the Lord I take refuge," he contrasts this divine refuge with the human advice to flee to the mountains. This contrast is significant because it highlights the difference between human and divine protection. Fleeing to the mountains represents a common human response to danger, seeking physical safety and isolation. However, David rejects this advice, not because it is inherently wrong, but because he believes that true security comes from God. This choice to find refuge in the Lord is an act of profound faith and trust. The concept of refuge in the Lord is deeply comforting. It suggests that no matter how dire the circumstances, there is always a place of safety in God's presence. This refuge is not merely physical but spiritual and emotional. It is a place where one can find peace, strength, and reassurance. For believers, this is a powerful reminder that they are never alone in their struggles, they have a divine protector who is always with them. Psalm 11 also addresses the counsel of the wicked, who suggest fleeing from danger. This advice represents a temptation to abandon faith and seek security through human means. David's rhetorical question, "How can you say to me, 'Flee like a bird to your mountain'?" Psalm 11 verse 1, challenges this counsel and underscores his commitment to trusting in God. The counsel of the wicked can be understood as a metaphor for any advice or temptation that leads one away from faith. It is the voice that suggests taking the easy way out, compromising principles, or abandoning trust in God in favor of immediate, but fleeting, security. David's rejection of this counsel serves as a powerful example of steadfast faith. This aspect of the psalm is particularly relevant in today's world, where individuals often face pressures to conform to societal norms or seek quick fixes to their problems. David's example encourages believers to remain steadfast in their faith, even when faced with tempting alternatives. It is a call to discernment and commitment, reminding readers that true security comes from God, not from human schemes. A significant portion of Psalm 11 is devoted to the theme of divine justice. David affirms that, "The Lord is in his holy temple, the Lord is on his heavenly throne. He observes everyone on earth, his eyes examine them," Psalm 11 verse 4. This imagery of God watching from his holy temple underscores his sovereignty and justice. Divine justice is a central theme in many of the Psalms. It reflects the belief that God is not only aware of the actions of the just and the wicked but also actively judges and responds to them. This belief is a source of comfort for the righteous and a warning to the wicked. It reassures believers that, despite the apparent success of the wicked, God's justice will ultimately prevail. In Psalm 11, the emphasis on divine justice serves to reinforce the theme of trust in God. David's confidence in God's justice allows him to reject the counsel of the wicked and find refuge in the Lord. He trusts that God sees all and will judge justly, rewarding the righteous and punishing the wicked. This faith in divine justice is a cornerstone of the Psalm's message and a source of hope for believers. The Psalm also touches on the role of trials and tribulations in the life of the righteous. David acknowledges that the righteous will face challenges, but he views these as opportunities for testing and purification. The Lord examines the righteous, but the wicked, those who love violence, he hates with a passion. Psalm 11 verse 5. This perspective on trials is significant because it offers a different understanding of adversity. Rather than seeing trials as merely unfortunate events, David views them as part of God's plan for testing and refining the righteous. This belief is echoed throughout the Bible, where trials are often seen as opportunities for growth and strengthening of faith. For modern readers, this perspective can be both challenging and encouraging. It challenges the notion that a life of faith will be free from difficulties, but it also offers hope that these difficulties have a purpose. Trials are not meaningless but are part of a divine process that ultimately leads to a deeper and stronger faith. Psalm 11 does not shy away from describing the fate of the wicked. David is clear that those who love violence and wickedness will face God's wrath and destruction. On the wicked he will rain fiery coals and burning sulfur, a scorching wind will be their lot. Psalm 11 verse 6. This stark imagery serves as a warning to the wicked and a reassurance to the righteous. It reinforces the theme of divine justice, emphasizing that God will not allow wickedness to go unpunished. The fate of the wicked is depicted in vivid and terrifying terms, underscoring the seriousness of their actions and the consequences they will face. For believers, this aspect of the psalm is a reminder of the ultimate triumph of good over evil. It reassures them that, despite the apparent success of the wicked, God's justice will prevail. It also serves as a call to righteousness, encouraging them to remain faithful and trust in God's judgment. The imagery of God observing from his holy temple is a powerful reminder of his sovereignty and omnipresence. The Lord is in his holy temple, the Lord is on his heavenly throne. He observes everyone on earth, his eyes examine them. Psalm 11 verse 4. This image of God watching from his temple suggests a perspective that is both transcendent and immanent. God is transcendent in that he is above and beyond the earthly realm, seated on his heavenly throne. Yet he is also immanent, actively observing and involved in the affairs of humanity. This dual perspective is significant because it underscores God's comprehensive understanding of human actions. He is not distant or detached but is deeply aware of and engaged with his creation. This awareness is a source of comfort for the righteous, who can trust that God sees their struggles and will act justly. It is also a warning to the wicked, who cannot escape God's scrutiny. The concluding theme of Psalm 11 is God's love for justice and his promise to reward the righteous. For the Lord is righteous, he loves justice, the upright will see his face. Psalm 11 verse 7. This affirmation of God's love for justice is a fitting conclusion to the psalm. It reinforces the central message that God is just and that he will ultimately reward the faithful. The promise that the upright will see God's face is a powerful incentive for righteousness, offering the hope of divine fellowship and blessing. This theme of divine justice and reward is a cornerstone of biblical theology. It reflects the belief that God is not only just but also loving and faithful. He cares deeply about righteousness and will ensure that the faithful are rewarded. For believers, this is a source of hope and encouragement, reminding them that their faithfulness will not go unnoticed or unrewarded. In summary, Psalm 11 is a rich and multifaceted text that addresses themes of faith, divine justice, and the ultimate triumph of righteousness. By exploring these themes, readers can gain a deeper understanding of the Psalm's message and find inspiration for their own spiritual journeys. Whether facing personal trials, societal challenges, or global crises, the message of Psalm 11 is a timeless reminder of the power of faith and the assurance of God's justice. And as we reflect on the powerful words of Psalm 11, let's take a moment to let its message truly sink in. Think about this. Where do you find your refuge in times of trouble? The psalmist reminds us that the Lord is in his holy temple, the Lord is on his heavenly throne. His eyes observe, his eyes examine us. This isn't just a distant deity watching from afar, this is a loving God who knows every detail of our lives. Imagine the comfort in that. Knowing that no matter the chaos around us, there is a divine presence watching over, protecting, and guiding us. Have you ever felt that unshakable peace that comes from placing your trust in Him? But let's not stop there. What can we do to strengthen this trust daily? Is it through prayer, reading more of the Scriptures, or perhaps sharing our faith with others? Each step brings us closer to that divine refuge. And here's a question for you: how has Psalm 11 personally impacted your life? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your story could be the inspiration someone else needs. Now, let's carry this peace and trust into our everyday lives. Remember, the Lord is righteous, He loves justice, the upright will see His face. What a promise to hold on to. How can you embody this righteousness and justice in your own life today? Keep this in your heart as you go about your day and week. Let the words of Psalm 11 be a beacon of hope and strength. And be sure to join us next time as we dive deeper into the transformative power of the Scriptures. Until then, stay blessed and find your refuge in the divine.